Van Pillman Jr., and you're watching the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel. Oh!
It's going down! This is Rasslin Rage! It's going down! This is Rasslin Rage! Scream it out loud! This is Rasslin Rage! Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade! It's going down! This is Rasslin Rage! We'll do it now! This is Rasslin Rage! Scream it out loud! This is Rasslin Rage! Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade!
And now it's time for Wrestling Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Hey, what is crack-a-lackin'? How is everybody doing today? Welcome to episode 214 of the most premier indie wrestling YouTube channel and podcast in the state of Michigan, Rasslin Rage. And podcast, right? Did I say that? I'm not sure. But anyways, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Hang out in the chat. Say some good shit. Say some bad shit. But say some shit, right? Say something. Doesn't matter. Anything. Doesn't matter what you say. Just say it. Tell us about your favorite match of the weekend. The one that maybe you've seen or maybe you've seen online. Or just talk about Michigan Indies in general. If you're catching this on the replay, go ahead. Comment down below. You know, you're not going to be able to comment in the chat once we're not live anymore, but you can definitely comment down below for sure. Tonight, we have the results from all the events. Well, not all. We're missing one, but most of the events. For Us Wrestling, we have their results, American Wrestling Experience, Capital Pro Wrestling, as well as Extreme Intense Championship Wrestling, the longest running promotion in the state of Michigan. But before we get too far into that one, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my co-host. First, we have the Ice Cream Man, the Happy Harper, Josh Harper, who has some funny glasses on. Hi, Josh.
Fashionable, Cody. Fashionable glasses on.
Well, you can call it whatever you like. And then also the real deal heel, Danny Bill. Wait, where's Dan? Where the hell's Dan? What happened? What's going on?
For legal reasons, I'd like to say that I don't know what happened to him. I do know that Skyjacker reached out to me and said he'd give me $50 to say that he was that Skyjacker was with us. I think that possibly they figured out there's more of him. There's more of the kids than there are of Dan, and that's bad. That's bad. Like, remember that scene at the end of The Lion King when all the hyenas jumped on Scar?
Mm-hmm. You?
Yeah. So in memorial of Dan, if you guys could subscribe and make sure you hit that bell, subscribe so you can keep up to date to everything that's going on with Rasslin Rage and our YouTube channel in general, that'd be fantastic. If Dan's not here, there's no reason to ring the bell, but make sure you ring the bell. That always helps out, just so that way you can keep in touch with everything that's going on, whether it's matches, whether it's special guest interviews, or if we have Rasslin Rage on Sundays, MIW on Tuesdays, or the plethora of different things that pop up on r2youtube.com. And with all the things that are going on with r2youtube.com and all the different changes we're able to make with technology and making things better, we have to thank our sponsors. Thank you very much to the American Wrestling Experience. Thank you to PKSA Karate Port Huron. And that's actually where Cody trained in martial arts. For anyone that doesn't know, he's a second-degree black belt. And that happened at PKSA Karate Port Huron. Thank you very much to Davison Sarai, the 2022 Indie Idol winner. Thank you very much to Mongo, the two-time winner of MIW Awards in 2020. Thank you to the Spyder, and thank you to For Us Wrestling, and of course, thank you to Grizzly Pro Wrestling. They're going to have a show this coming Sunday, which is why we will not be having Rasslin Rage next Sunday, but that's something we're going to talk about on Tuesday. But still, thank you for being a sponsor for us, Grizzly Pro Wrestling.
Tuesday. I
mean, yeah. Let's get to the the stuff from this week, though, dude.
Oh,
Come on.
okay.
It's time to talk about Michigan independent wrestling. Tune into the channel, check your internet connection. Cody, Danny, Josh, they're the best at breaking down the matches into each and every segment. Michigan independent wrestling. Tune into the channel, check your internet connection. Cody, Danny, Josh, they're the best at breaking down the matches into each and every segment.
Rasslin Rage T-shirts are available on prowrestlingtees.com/Rasslin Rage. Just click the link in the description to visit our store on Pro Wrestling Tees website. Every shirt is 100% cotton and available in sizes up to 5X. Show your love for Rasslin Rage and get yours today. All right, so welcome back. Yes, don't forget you can get T-shirts on our prowrestlingtees.com/Rasslin Rage, which that link's down in the description. And you can always, ask us, because anywhere you see me, and if I've driven, we have merch. Some places we set up the merch table, some places we don't. It just depends on where we're at and how much room we have. Let's put it that way. We don't typically do it at For Us Wrestling because we typically don't have a lot of room, usually. So that is what it is. But yeah, again, thanks to those sponsors and welcome back. So tonight we're going to start it off with For Us Wrestling. That was where.
No, that's not its name no more. After Friday's show, FU has a new name.
What is it?
It is For Me. To the rest of you, that show is For Me.
Okay, whatever. Anyways. And it was dubbed the name of Where'd You Get Those Pink 50s Grandma? This took place on Friday, August 12th, and it was at the Renegades Bar in Garden City. In the pre-show, it was Dante Kassan taking on Big Murph, which ended in a no contest. Crikey. As Lamario Starr made his presence well known by absolutely destroying Dante and Murph and demanded he become part of the six-pack challenge for Mark Ross's 24-karat title in the main event.
Ooh, that's a bad birthday for Dante. He's got some bad birthday luck, man. When it came to the main show, we started off with a championship match. It was the Michigan-made monster and sponsor of the show, Mongo, taking on Blake Bale, the People's Championship champion. And Mongo beat Blake Bale to become the new People's Championship champion.
Yes.
But Blake had a rematch clause, so Blake immediately demanded that he gets his rematch. And despite hitting Mongo with literally everything that Blake had to offer him, Mongo was able to pin Blake again to retain his People's Championship.
That was crazy. That's right where the stream fucked up on us, too. That pissed me off, man, is on that match. We didn't get back to it until we got to the third match, which was Isaiah Frazier defeating Father Marquez. And it was probably a couple minutes right before the finish. After he broke the Good Father's offering plate over his head as the ref was distracted by KJ fucking Reynolds and some other shit going on. Why was KJ Reynolds even there?
Because FU doesn't have security.
True story.
It's the best I can offer you, Cody.
Well, he was in the six-pack challenge, right? That's what it was. That's why he was there. He ended up being in the six-pack.
I think it just comes down to the fact in order to keep the prices low for the fans and still put on an amazing show, they don't got security. Hey, what you gonna do? But next up, we had Jeremiah Goldman, the 24-karat lion, the fashion sensation across all four elemental nations. As you can see, just being around him, I got some stuff rubbing off on me a little bit. But Jeremiah Goldman took on Ernesto, the Night Owl. Ooh. When it came down to it, a lion always beats an owl. Jeremiah Goldmain beat the Night Owl to retain his BBW For Us championship.
Ain't that a crazy one? Another promotion championship, but it's their For Us championship, dude. That's pretty sweet, man. Awesome. Go ahead, take that one too. Why don't you?
All right. Next up, we had Cody's favorite tag team. I don't know if you know this or not. He's always talking about it. It's got to be their favorite tag team. So Social Reality.
Social Anxiety.
Social Justice Warriors for Forever Young, Dean Hendricks and Jason DeMilo took on the Tragedy Boys of Percy Drews, Gaston LaRue, and Saturn Price. When everything came down to it, somehow Social Distortion was able to hold on to their trios championship. But I mean, although they might be the rightful champions, they can't hold on to those belts for nothing, man.
No, they lose a lot of shit, don't they?
Right? They ended up having Johnny Delicious had to get on the microphone later that night and bring up the fact that one of the belts has gone missing. How do you win the belt? How do you win the match to retain the championship and lose the championship somewhere in the bar?
It's atrocious, right? And because of the last incident when they won the titles. So they won the titles at the last For Us Wrestling, okay?
Right.
And then they did announcing for the Adam Wick match for that event. And they lost the number 2 title. I just so happened to pick it up, take a couple pictures, and hey, lost and found, possession's 9/10 of the law, brother. So I'm in possession. You lost it. It's mine. I was a nice guy. I gave it back. I still consider it my fucking.
Relinquished the title.
I still say it's mine. And I always ask Top Gun and Dean Hendricks if they're done holding my title yet. Right? But it is what it is. But now we're on a hunt. And we don't know where it's at. We got to find it. So that's why, if you see right now, if you're watching, you'll see right above us, I believe right above Josh, is the title. So if you see this title, here it is. Now I want to point out this is a picture of the title. This is a picture of, it's not the title, it's a picture of the title. Please, if you see this title, let us know. We have to get it back to For Us Wrestling, just so you know. But they got to stop losing shit. Speaking of losing shit, you see this? Look at this fine piece of artwork over here, man. I was leaving, and I found this fucker in the trash. And, Top Gun, he's one of my favorite wrestlers, of course. And he has my title, or he had my title at one point. And, yeah, dude. I'll say, I don't believe that Top Gun's trash. I just think he loses a lot of shit. Between him and Dean Hendricks, they can't keep track of anything.
What are you going to do?
That's all I'm saying. Who lost the title? I'm not sure who lost it. Was it Dean Hendricks or was it?
Well, I know Dean Hendricks came over a few different times asking if I had seen the title. In fact, he even wanted to check my ice cream cooler because he thought it might be in there, but I showed him. So I think it might have been Dean Hendricks that lost it.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, like this guy. He's a good guy. He's all right. I mean, the real question is he killing the business? I don't know. I guess it's up to you to find out. But next we have Big Con versus Tommy Vendetta. And it was arguably Tommy Vendetta's toughest opponent to date, as he was defeated by former member of the longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions, Big Con. Now I hope to Jesus we get to see these two go head to head again.
How was he defeated, Cody?
Huh?
What series of events led to Tommy Vendetta losing that match?
Why don't you tell us, Josh?
Tommy Vendetta was distracted when Triple H came out to the ring to assist Big Con in getting the win. That is a sentence that has only ever been uttered once before, and it was by me at FU. Okay? Triple H assisted Big Con, former WWE superstar, longest reigning NXT tag team champion of all time, in defeating DTA's lovable psychopath. If For Us Wrestling isn't doing the things that no one else is doing, I don't know what the hell you're thinking. That's never been a thing in the history of all time. That's new.
Okay.
In match number 7, it was Adam fucking Wick taking on Maximilian Top Gun. Whew, that was a match to be had. It was barely in the ring the entire time. There were trash cans. There were mirrors. There was kendo sticks that were broken, welts immediately on bodies throughout this entire match. And when it came down to it, the social justice can't hold on to a belt people came out to attack Adam Wick. Tommy Vendetta came out to even it up. Adam Wick won. That's how it works.
Right.
Adam fucking Wick.
Adam fucking Wick. And it was a Beach Bar Wrestling's it was an inter-promotional deal, right? We had the Beach and Bar Wrestling's Sledge Gibson and Wes Rogers, nice tag team, defeating Pro Wrestling All-Stars Atlas Hightower and AVZ, who was accompanied by Jamie Eternal, after Alex Van Zant turned on his partner and sprayed hot coffee in Atlas Hightower's face. Did you pay him off?
Huh?
Did you pay off AVZ?
I would never say that. What are you talking about?
You would never say that or never do that.
Hey, Cody, what's that?
What?
Exactly.
Then we have the great Tiger, who beat the Kenny Urban with Goose.
That was such an odd match. It was it was captivating, and it was so weird. I love that too.
It was.
I think I said that 6 or 7 times that night, just watching that going, I fucking love this place. In the main event, we had a 6-pack challenge for the 24K LP Championship. It was champion Mark Ross defending against KJ Reynolds, Ryan Mathias, Kenzie James, Jamal King, and Big Flex Lamario Star. Now, the way this match operated was whenever somebody... What?
Insane.
Whenever somebody got pinned, they were the new champion, with this match ending at 20-minute mark. And that's when the match was done. That's when it was over. So during this match, I'll be honest, Mr. 401k, the dad bod god, my favorite wrestler and the best wrestler in the country, lost the 24-karat LP championship. He lost it. He was not pinned, but KJ ended up becoming the champion for a short amount of time. KJ lost the belt to the third ever. KJ lost the belt to Jamal King, who finally, after 900 title shots, was able to get his title. But then he almost immediately lost it, with Lamario Star picking up the win. And this all happened within a few minutes. And then you had Kenzie James becoming the first female 24-karat LP champion. And you know what? She held on to that belt for a while. How long did she hold on to that belt? She held on to that belt longer than KJ, than Lamario Star and Jamal King combined. She became the third longest reigning 24-karat LP champion of all time. But when the match was almost over with only 12 seconds left, Mr. 401k, the Dad Bod God, got the pin, and he won back his championship. He came in the champion. He left the champion. Now, at the end of the show, Mr. Jamal King did come up and bring up the fact that he almost pinned somebody. But we're not talking about horseshoes. We're not talking about hand grenades. So almost doesn't matter.
I think you were the best one for that match for sure to do anything because that was cool. That was great, dude. Great job there. So next up, man, we have AWE. Is that what's there? I think. Well, either way, that's what we're talking about. So it was on Saturday, the 13th, and it was at the PNA, which is the Polish National Institute or something, Polish something. And it's in Prison City, Jackson, Michigan. That's right. They brought Beat the Heat with an H. Kicking off the event was the match for the AWE Heavyweight Championship as the AWE champion. The human highlight, Isaiah Moore, met the challenger, Simon Socrates. When it was all said and done, it was Isaiah Moore with his hand raised to the sky and remaining the AWE champion.
Ooh, good job, man.
Oh, next, it was Officer Rod Street taking on Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse beat down Officer Rod Street and won by pinfall.
Next up, it was the Kenny Urban along with Goose, who took on Sergeant Victor Petrov. And for once, I said that without having to do it 3 times. Sergeant Victor Petrov got the pin and the win over the Kenny Urban. In a fatal 4-way tag team championship match, it was Deo Bros versus the Nomads versus Flip and Twist and the Saucy Fam. Flip and Twist were able to pin Josh Morris to become the new AWE Tag Team Championship.
Oh, snap. Dang it. And then next, it was the American Summer Series Gauntlet featuring 9 AWE superstars. They were battling it out for a shot at the AWE Championship. And it came down to Travis Titan versus DL Salvador. And in the last inning, with Travis Titan earning the win and getting the title shot for the AWE Heavyweight Championship. Who will be the champion? When will this match take place? I'm not sure if it's happening at the next event. So it could be Travis Titan versus Isaiah Moore. Both pretty good wrestlers.
Now, you know a good way to stay up to date with that.
Subscribe to Rasslin Rage and Michigan Independent Weekly on the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel.
On Rasslin Rage and Michigan Independent Weekly, we will always bring you the up-to-the-date information that we can. If you head on over to Facebook and join us for Michigan Independent Weekly, that's where we post all the flyers that we can find, and other promotions and other fans like you will also be posting flyers that they find. And also, if you go down into the description, you will be able to find links to the AWE Facebook page, so that way you can stay up to date with everything that they have. Thank you very much, AWE, for being sponsors of MIW and Rasslin Rage. That's a lot of initials. But also on August 13th, from the Fledge in Lansing, Michigan, it was Capital Pro Wrestling. And in the opening bout, it was Justin Dream, the Dream Daddy, taking on Eddie Dillon, with Justin Dream getting the win. Continuing on with our War Inc. folks, we have War Inc. That's Dre Jacobs and Billy Ray Daniels taking on Dirty Nasty. That's Nick Zero and Dylan Derringer. War Inc. was able to get the win, making it a good day to be in War Inc.
Then it was George Mack defeating Jimmy Gray. And then we have Joseph Norton defeating the Psych. Pun the psych. That's what I meant. Sorry. Pun the psych.
Conrad Lukes took on Jarris Gray and was able to beat him not just with a pin, but by submission. Tough day for Jarris Gray, but it's always a solid win when you make your opponent say they give up.
And it was the Murder Machine, Caleb Stills and Jamie Cox, defeating Built Different, the tag team of Ray Adams and Phil Ingram, to retain their Great Lakes tag team titles.
Keith Crean took on Danton Leon and won once again, not by pinning him, not by countout, but by submitting him and making him say he quits. It's a good way for Keith Crean to win. In the next match, we had C.J. Ortegan taking on Chuck Stein. This match was for the Great Lakes Television Championship, and when all was said and done, CJ walked in champion, CJ walked out champion. He did successfully defend his championship.
I'll be a two-packer Billy. And finishing up on the 13th, also on Saturday, the granddaddy of the Michigan independent wrestling scene, Extreme Intense Championship Wrestling, XICW, presented the Best in Detroit, number 30, from the International Institute of Metro Detroit. Go ahead.
Okay. In the opening match, Kyler Coleman took on KJ Reynolds. It was an absolutely phenomenal match. And when everything was said and over, the human toothpick held on to his lightweight championship. That's got to be the only championship that weighs more than the person that holds it. On the next match, we had the Three Faces of Sheepy taking on in a 3-on-1 competition his War Inc. tag team member, Billy Ray Daniels. So that was the Black Sheep, that was Justin Dream, and that was Sheepy, all going against Billy Ray Daniels. And you just can't go on those numbers. The Three Faces of Sheepy got a win over their War Inc. partner. No matter what, it's still a win for War Inc., though, right?
Yeah. Soul Taker teamed up with RC3 to take on Iron Eagle and Roadhouse. They beat them, right? They beat them all, but he chokeslammed RC3 at the end.
I mean, throughout the match, he had multiple times when RC3 should have been making a tag, but didn't because he said, and I quote, "I got this." But he's not El Ridiculoso, and he did not got this. Soul Taker had to come in and get that win for the tag team. And that's how they got the win. And if I was Soul Taker, I would have chokeslammed him too.
Did you say he did not got this?
He not got this. That needs to be a T-shirt. You not got this.
America.
In the match that everyone has been waiting for in a best-of-5 series competition, Mark Ross took on Jamie Cox. And like I said, this was a best-of-5 competition with Mark Ross having 2 wins and Jamie Cox stealing 2 wins throughout this tournament. They've had 4 absolutely amazing matches with each other. And when this match was over, you had the Dad Bod God getting a win over Jamie Cox and winning 3-2 this best-of-5 competition. After the match, Jamie Cox said he was happy that he could have some of the amazing matches that he had had with Mark Ross over the last few months. And Mark Ross said, you know what? Back in the history of Proving Grounds, there's a lot of talk about Proving Grounds, just throwing that out there. But in the history of Proving Ground, Mark Ross had the possibility of choosing Jamie Cox as his veteran, and he didn't. And in that season, he lost to Jamie Cox. He would like to correct that issue now, and he wants to be tag team partners with Jamie Cox. Jamie Cox agreed to it, to which the fans almost immediately started chanting 401 Cox. And if that's not an absolutely amazing XICW name, I don't know what is. So look forward to 401 Cox having some gold around their waist real soon.
At the same time,
Same time.
Dre Jacobs was able to beat Adam Wick after a slight distraction from the kid known as Toothpick, Kyler Coleman. Coleman told Wick he didn't want to be his rookie anymore in Proving Ground because he's the champion.
With Proving Ground coming, the wrestling scene has changed a lot very quickly in the last few months.
Sure did.
And there are going to be a lot of teams that are eliminated just because they're not there.
That's why I think we're seeing some new teams being established.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, there is no promotion that knows how to deal with chaos better than XICW.
That is
so
true.
I'm extremely wondering how the hell they're going to do this, and I got faith that they'll do it right.
Right. Well, and then we have the Tommy Vendetta versus TJ Meyer match, which they didn't announce which fans, but I'm pretty certain that stemmed from our show. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say it was like for sure, but that's where we were talking about it. And then like a couple days later, all of a sudden, bam, here we go. I'm like, well, didn't we just talk about that? So
dude, it's about being a puppet master.
Maybe. So Tom,
I think TJ can beat Tommy. Oh yeah, that's definitely what's gonna happen. Next up,
whoa.
in a fight.
Wait. If I remember correctly, if we go back to this conversation that we had, you said
repeatedly
that if TJ were to fight Tommy, you would be cheering for TJ and not Tommy.
Uh-huh.
And now you're talking shit that he didn't beat Tommy?
Like I said, dude, it's about being a puppet master. TJ got all hyped up. You got to get TJ to like. I was never the friend that broke a leg. I was the friend that convinced my friends to do the stupid thing that they would break the leg.
So what you're saying is, if you were an accessory or a friend that may have helped me rob a bank, you would definitely snitch on me?
I wouldn't go to the cops, but like 100%, if the cops caught me, I'm throwing your name out there for 3 months off my time.
I hate you now.
In a match that absolutely came out of left freaking field for me, the way this match was originally supposed to be, you had the Purge taking on the Swamp Monsters in a Purge rules match. Jeremiah Goldman being one of the Swamp Monsters that was supposed to be in this match, but he said, you know what? It's Purge rules. There's no rules. This is now a 3-on-2 match. So it was the Swamp Man, Brutus Atwell. It was the Michigan-made monster, Mongo, and the 24-karat lion, Jeremiah Goldman, on one team, with Kevin Calloway and Sean Tyler, the founding members of the Purge, on the other. They came out and said, we figured you were going to do a 3-on-2 match, so we got a third person. Well, who was their third person? Well, it was the third original person, and for one night only, coming out of retirement, we had all 3 members of the Detroit founding chapter of the new founding fathers, as Justin Pilgrim joined Kevin Calloway and Sean Tyler for the Purge to take on the Swamp Monsters. And when it was all said and done, the Purge did pick up their win as Pilgrim himself pinned Jeremiah Goldman. Everybody knows I'm a Jeremiah Goldman fan, but as soon as you had all 3 members of the Purge come out, I geeked a little bit. By a little bit, I mean a lot.
All right, fair. Now, I did the announcing for that one. Or not announcing, but commentary with Guru on that one. And then I was kicked out by a child.
Speaking of getting kicked by a child, you had LJ Lawrence putting his United States Championship on the line as he faced the most dangerous man in Michigan, the DBA. LJ did come out with his son, the little ass kicker himself, while DBA came out with Caden Monroe, the second son. During this fight, there ended up being an altercation between little LJ and Caden. Little LJ kicked Caden. Yeah, that was funny, like multiple times. And when Caden started getting upset and was going to attack little LJ, big LJ came in and kicked Caden straight out the ring. And after he got done kicking him straight out the ring, LJ kicked his daddy's butt too to retain the United States Championship.
All right. And in the main event, it was the Midwest Championship on the line as MM3 took on Solo. Solo was in the mix for the Rookie of the Year this year against Brutus Atwell. He actually had a lot of votes, just so everybody knows. He was if there was a second, he would be in the second, right? But so MM3 retained his championship over Solo. However, a lot of people, including myself, believe this is match of the year contender right here because holy shit. If Solo, personal opinion, take away whatever you want from it, but if nobody believed in Solo before, you surely should now. Number one. Number two, that kid with the amount of he does not have a lot of time in the business yet. But to put on that kind of show with MM3 in a main event at XICW, he showed up, did his job, and he did a good job at it. And them are fucking facts. And you can argue with me all fucking day, and I'll punch you in the face because no, I won't. That's assault. I will act like I'm punching you in the face. How's that one?
You throw a brick breaking punch near them and make them piss themselves.
There we go. Assault. There we go. So, with that said, holy shit, Solo. This is one of those moments in professional wrestling that you have to love because, you know, you get to see some of these indie darlings that are going to move on to big things later on. And I believe Solo is one of those guys. And I think Solo has got a mindset that you don't see a lot of other guys have. And he's not into the extra shit, right? Comes in, puts in the hard work, does his job, does what he has to. He doesn't do and when I say extra bullshit, he doesn't not partying like crazy or anything like that. He's a wrestler, and that's what he does. You know what I mean? I know what he does for a living, and he's pretty serious about it. So that's awesome, dude. I highly respect him, and I think that if he isn't on the map for Rookie of the Year next year, or at least getting it, because he's got enough time in where he can qualify again, if I'm not mistaken. So, or just enough time. You don't think he does?
No, my point is I disagree with him being Rookie of the Year. He should be in Wrestler of the Year candidate.
He could be too. You could be that too. But, you know, if anything, you know what I mean? I really believe that this kid got it, man. He has got it. And that crowd, they loved that fucking match, dude. They got up out of their seats and started banging on that fucking ring. They got up out of their seats before to go to the ring just to clap. And then they came to the ring and were beating on the dude. I haven't seen that in a while here in the state where they're that excited over a match. That was
the last time I remember that happening was the main event of the first FU show when it was Adam Wick, Jonte Keith, and MM3.
Fair.
I truly believe that. I mean, and mind you, I'm not a wrestler, so I've just been a lifelong wrestling fan. And I think that 99% of being a successful wrestler is hard work, determination, and grit. And then there's that 1%, and it's just something you're born with. It can't be taught. It can't be trained. You can't work on it. And Solo is working his ass off for that 99%. But I truly feel he is one of those people that was born with that 1% advantage. And he's going to just continue. He is going to continue to do mind-blowing shit. And I'm happy that I get to see him now, and I can't wait to see him later.
Fair. Yeah, for sure. Again, I just want to point out Top Gun. One of my favorite wrestlers right now, Maximilian Top Gun. We're going through a name change, it sounds like. Good stuff. Again, I don't believe you're trash. I just think you need to keep better track of your shit, dude. Just like your number 2 title. And I'm going to show you guys this one more time, just so you guys know, hey, this is the 6 man. This is the number 2. It's missing. They don't know where it's at. We need to find it. We got to find it. I don't know. So I would like to have it. That'd be a great title to have. Don't you like that title? You had what, the number 3 title the other day on your shoulder when we took that
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, and Dan got the number 1 title, and he got some gold fever. Maybe he took the number 2.
Is that why he's not here today?
Could be. I don't know.
You think he knocked it?
I doubt he would hawk it. He'd probably, dude, did you see his eyes? He got a hold of Forever Young's glasses, got a hold of the belt. He was all about it, dude. He was like, like he was all giddy about it, dude. And maybe he melted it down and made his own.
Maybe.
You know, maybe he made a number 1 belt and it's just the number 1. And it's going to be a gift to Forever Young. Because Forever Young loves the number 1 belt. We did establish, though, that Dean Hendricks and Top Gun share the number 2 belt. And that they're both responsible for it. We did establish that.
Well, I mean, that means they're both failing right now. So there's that.
There is that, for sure. Again, don't forget this. We need to find this. Let me know if you see it. Get a hold of Jeremiah Goldmain or me or whoever. And I'll put you in contact with Goldmain and whatever. But if you see this belt, you know, again, that's a picture of the belt. That's not the belt. Okay, so make sure you guys do that. And shout out to Top Gun once again. Awesome sauce. Don't forget about our sponsors. We want to thank you to them. We want to say thank you to Michigan Made Monster, For Us Wrestling. We want to say thank you to PKSA Karate Port Huron, our American Wrestling Experience. We also want to say thank you to you. We also want to say thank you to Grizzly Pro Wrestling. Thank you. And then also Davison Sarai, who is day one sponsorship. Since we offered sponsorship, she's been a sponsor, dude. So that's awesome. But thank you to all of you. You guys are helping us make some things happen. And you know, again, the goal eventually is to have a awards ceremony for our awards that we do every year. And we got other things on the horizon for Indie Idol. We're waiting on some things for that, and it's going to be a good time, man. We got a good year ahead of us. You know, like we're going to finish out this year strong, and we're going to go into next year kicking some ass and taking some names, and because that's how we roll, man. That's how we roll. You know, Josh, dude, thanks for joining me. Unfortunately, Dan didn't make it. I thought he was going to make it. Apparently, he didn't. But you know,
hyenas on Scar. It was
right. Yeah, it could be. Maybe he's got the belt too. I don't know. But you know, thank you to you for stopping in and hanging out and doing the show with me. And unfortunately, like I said, Dan couldn't make it to us. We know that in October, is the next FU?
Yes. Oh, crud. You think I'd have that information on hand?
Yeah, well, October,
this is what Danny's normally doing.
So we got October for another one, and I'm not sure what the name of that one's going to be at the top of my head yet. We haven't had a flyer release. I know they're working on those right now. So you got For Us Wrestling coming up in October. We'll be at Grizzly Pro on Sunday next week. We're going to talk a little bit about that on Tuesday. Also, we're going to be at Metro Pro on Friday. Big show there. We haven't been to their new venue yet, so we're excited to head there. Maybe one of these days we can get in there and do a little commentary, maybe record some shit to Metro Pro Wrestling too. They got a great venue for it. And you know, again, make sure you scroll down in the description, like, subscribe. All the links to the promotions that we talked about tonight are down in the description. For Us Wrestling, Capital Pro Wrestling, American Wrestling Experience, and XICW. Yes.
October 28th. It'll be the Friday before Halloween.
So the Friday before Halloween, October 28th. And Josh will be getting married on Halloween in 2023. I just remembered that. Well, I didn't just remember it, but you know, speaking of Halloween, it just kind of reminded me of that. But Good stuff. That's a matter of fact. Jeremiah asked me, he's like, is he getting married this Halloween or next time? I'm like, next. He's like, okay, all right. Because he was worried, about the show being that Friday or what have you. So
I'm probably working the Monday before. Like, I'm definitely going to FU. If it came down to it, I could say very quietly, if it came down to it, if there was a show on, like, I might have to move the day. Like, things have to get shuffled around. FU's my favorite show, okay?
Right. But, so, good stuff. Good. Good stuff. Yeah,
got a lot of knives in this house, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's how you can tell you're almost married. Now you're like, now you don't want to say shit before you were getting married. Before it, and you were just with her. You'd say whatever you wanted. Now you're getting married. Now you won't say shit.
Hey, you listen here. I am the man of my house, and I'll say whatever I want, whenever I want.
That's great. All right. So again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up. We appreciate all of you. I appreciate Josh. And we appreciate Dan, of course, too. Good stuff. That's all we got, man. We'll be back here on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. for Michigan Independent Weekly, and that's where we give you all the information to attend any or all the events coming up next weekend here in the state of Michigan. And then I believe Thursday, Corky's coming on to talk about talk about GPW and what's going on. Maybe we can get a hold of Ann and have Ann on too. I had to get a hold of her. But thanks for joining us. We're going to get out of here. See you guys on Tuesday right here on r2youtube.com. That's the letter R, the number 2, youtube.com.
This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads